transmission.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's now time for the PCW dating game. Here's your host,
Well, this is going to be certainly one of the most memorable segments ever on PCW Full Throttle. I have that kind of feeling about it. We've never done anything like it before.
And welcome to the PCW dating game. It's the first ever happening here on PCW Full Throttle. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your contestants for the PCW dating game. Wrestler number 1, Brett Barnes.
This young man making quite an impression ever since his debut in PCW several weeks ago. He's already mixed it up with some top competition like Steve DeMarco and Aaron Eagle, as well as Jiggle-O James Johnson. And it's going to be interesting to see what happens with Brett Barnes involved in this dating game tonight.
Well, I've got high hopes for the dating game. Originally, I understood it was supposed to be Damien, Apocalypse, and Tim Storm.
Yeah.
But we couldn't get a girl. So we've changed the contestants. And I have great expectations tonight for the dating game.
Brett Barnes, wrestler number 1 in the first ever PCW dating game.
Introducing contestant number 2, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome wrestler number 2, Aaron Eagle.
The success story in the making, on his way out as number 2 here in the dating game, and I know this man has a very high opinion of himself.
Rob Moore, I'm going on record right now. Aaron Eagle will take home the prize position of PCW dating game champion tonight. You watch.
Well, we'll see about that. Barnes just biding his time, sitting on the top turnbuckle watching Eagle.
Look, unless they got a 12-year-old involved in this thing, Aaron Eagle's got it in the bag.
Introducing the third and final contestant for this dating game, please welcome wrestler number 3, Jiggle-O James Johnson.
Boy, listen to the women go wild here.
Like I said, they're not dating a 12-year-old, Rob Moore. Aaron Eagle's got this sucker in the bag. You watch.
Well, we'll see what happens. Here he is, fans, the PCW World Cruiserweight Champion, Jiggle-O James Johnson. These 3 men have all been involved in the Cruiserweight title picture over the last few weeks, and hopefully they'll be able to get something resolved very soon.
And at shock and awe, all 3 men are involved in a triple threat match for the PCW Cruiserweight title.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the person that will be asking you your questions, ladies and gentlemen, our lovely guest, the lovely Miss Jamie.
All right, Jamie is the lucky lady who gets to play the PCW dating game tonight.
And she is blindfolded, Rob Moore, so she can't get a good look at the wrestlers before she makes her pick. She's got to ask them questions and base her pick upon their responses to those various questions coming up.
And indeed, of course, I'm dating myself by saying this, but I remember the original dating game hosted by Jim Lang, and they did things a little bit differently with a wall between the bachelorette and the 3 bachelors.
Rob, I've seen your girlfriend. You're not dating yourself. She's a lovely young lady.
Oh, yes, she is, and I wasn't quite talking about that kind of dating anyway.
Oh, you mean you're old?
Well, I've been around a while, let's put it that way. I remember the Herb Alpert and the Tijuana Brass theme song that used to play on the original dating game, too. Got that in my iPod somewhere.
You're old. We get it, Rob.
All right, all right.
Now, Cole removing the blindfold. She cannot see any of the wrestlers. They're in the ring behind her.
Into the audience, and do not look behind you. If there are wrestlers are to remain anonymous, and if you guys could please keep your differences aside for the evening and remain exactly where you're standing, we can get this thing started right off. Jamie, you get to ask the wrestlers 3 questions. Whatever question you would like to ask, go ahead and start.
Oh, okay.
Wrestler number 1, if you were a car, what kind would you be and why?
That goes
She
to
wants to
wrestler
know what
number
kind of
1.
car you would be.
Well, if I was a car, I'd have to say I'd be a hybrid SUV. An SUV because compared to these guys, I'm pretty big and powerful.
Nice, nice.
And a hybrid, well, I don't need a lot of gas to look good, and I got plenty of mileage for you.
All right.
Wow.
There's high mileage, folks.
Okay, wrestler number 2. What would our first date
Aaron Eagle
wants to know what the first date would be like.
Well, first of all, I'd probably have to call the 1-800 number to get you.
That's not going to win him very many points, Rob.
Minute. No, it's not. She's not that kind of a girl.
So then, I guess I'd have to take you out somewhere. So we go to my car, I'd open the door for you, mainly because I don't want you to touch anything. Okay?
Boy.
Go on our date. But I'd have to set a curfew for you because tonight there's really going to be a party.